Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, the size of the U.S. government does seem to be shrinking. 20,000 federal employees are reported to, it's being reported, have accepted Trump administration's offer to kind of buy them out, to take a lump sum settlement and get out. The FBI has sent a list of 6,000 FBI agents that were involved in the January 6th. I think it was 6,000, maybe 3,000. I don't know. It was a lot involved in those investigations to the Justice Department, where maybe a lot of them will be canned. Donald Trump is supposed to be preparing an executive order that will start the dismantling of the U.S. Department of Education process. That's something that many of us have been in favor of for a long time. In fact, Ronald Reagan talked about it back in the 80s, and it never happened. So that's a good one. I'm 100% in favor of that. There's also talk about establishing a cryptocurrency reserve, and possibly that be Bitcoin. So I've not seen any specific numbers of how much, but yeah, Bitcoin reserve. And I don't know. There was a couple other things, but they just slipped my mind. I didn't write any of this stuff down. I was just going from memory. But yeah, a lot of stuff's going on. And things appear to be dismantling because of what's going on. Trump did make a threat that if Iran tried to assassinate him, that he's got orders in place that they will be immediately annihilated. Zelensky is begging for his nuclear weapons back. Donald Trump said that the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip have to leave. One way or the other. They have to get out. They have to get out and let that be turned back over to Israel. But honestly, that is a part of land that has pretty much always not been Israel. Even if you go back historically, it's most always been Palestinians or the Philistines. That was their land. So that one will probably have a big fight over. Probably see some increased protests here in the United States because of it. But that's not a big surprise, is it? I made a video today for over on my locals channel talking about flu and illness and stuff that's going on. And of course there I can be very open and talk about that kind of stuff. It's free speech, and I have to be very restrictive here on YouTube because, that's one of the subjects that YouTube does not like you to talk about. So I'm not going to go into great detail here. You can go watch the video over on locals if you want the full story. But I was talking about it and how it seems to be spreading around quite a bit here where I live. A lot of people around here have it. I saw that hospitals are filling up in Chicago and New York with people with influenza A. And in New York, they're saying now that anyone that comes in with influenza A or tests positive for influenza A, that they're also going to test them for H5N1 bird flu. Maybe they're trying to catch more of that, or they're trying to make it a pandemic. They start saying, oh my goodness, all of these really bad flu cases are actually bird flu cases. It's a pandemic. I don't know. I do know that the amount of birds that are being culled is just going up and up and up. Millions and millions just in the last week or two all over the country. And there's been other nations that's having the same issues. There's been more human cases in other nations also. And of course, I don't think that all the chickens that are culled are actually positive for H5N1, but there's a lot of stuff going on there. It's not just a potential future pandemic. It's destruction of our food supply, a very healthy and easily accessible food supply. Chickens, they're probably the number one thing that you can have on your homestead to help you towards, self-sufficiency when it comes to food is probably chickens. They're easy to take care of. It's not expensive, and you can produce a lot of protein from a chicken. And so they're taking that away from you. They will eventually come after, or at least attempt to, come after your backyard flocks, your small homestead chickens. It's already been talked about, okay? The things are already being lined up. And so, number one, and I talk about this more in the other video I mentioned, for your own personal health, you better have all the things that you need for it. Because I do believe that this is going to become a big thing. Even if it's not this season, this winter flu season, I'd say at least next one. But you need to have the stuff stocked up so that you can, get through it. But the same thing on the same note is your food. I've been talking about food a lot here lately. This is one of them, a big one. While if they wanted to by force, they could still take your chickens away, unless you fight them. But in the end, they're still going to take your chickens away. Whether you stand your ground or not, you'll lose and take your chickens away. But anyways, regardless of how that all might play out, you're better off having them now and having a flock established than maybe 6 months from now when things are worse and they say, oh no, we're banning, we're outlawing backyard chickens, and now you're purchasing them on the black market to have backyard chickens. That may sound extreme, it may be extreme, but I think you get the point. You're better off having them now. If you don't have chickens, you need to get into chickens if you're homesteading. Even if you live in the city and you have a backyard, and in your city, a lot of towns now allow chickens, backyard chickens. Not all of them, but a lot. You may not be able to have a rooster so that they can't reproduce, but you can get some laying hens and have some eggs and meat chickens or however you want to do it. Yeah, you need to read up on it. You need to learn some stuff. There's some great videos on YouTube. I've made a video or two long ago, but there's way better videos than mine when it comes to chickens. But it's such an easy way to produce protein, whether it be in egg or meat form, or both really is what it is. It's an easy way. They eat all your leftovers, your compost, and they turn it into protein every day. Or ducks, or geese, or turkeys, or whatever. We have a variety of all that. And you need to do it. You need to have a good coop. I always recommend to build your coop more robust than what you think. These ones you see at like Walmart and Lowe's, these little flimsy, maybe cute, but little flimsy coops. Don't deal with those. Don't deal with them. They're flimsy. They're made for 3 or 4 chickens, and they're way too expensive. Build your own coop, or buy a shed, an actual wood shed. It doesn't have to be giant unless you want a lot of chickens, but an 8x8, an 8x10, 10x10, something like that. Build you a good size shed, or buy a shed and make it a chicken coop. And the stronger you make the building, the less likely you're going to have predators that can come in and get it. So if it's strong enough, it keeps the predators out. Once they're in it, they're safe. That's always a big thing with chickens. But you need to have them, because they're going to come after them. They're going to try to take chickens away from people. They're culling millions and millions of them just about every week here across the country. Just in the last few days, 1.1 million were culled here in my state of Missouri. So you better get on it. It takes several weeks from chick to being laying. And then some places you can go ahead and start getting the chicks now. Some places it's still a little early. But as soon as you can get them, and if you can't find a hatchery around, maybe go find some Amish or Mennonites. A lot of times they have them, will sell them to you. Or maybe just, on Facebook. People, that sell those, little critters. Whatever it is, I highly recommend that everyone have chickens. Poultry of some sort. and take care of them. Care of them properly. They're not pets. They're livestock. I don't agree with the people that treat them like they're pets. They're livestock. You want ones that are self-sufficient. This is homesteading. This isn't Better Homes and Gardens where we want to make some frou-frou little pretty little place. If you want to make it cute, that's fine. It's your business. But make sure you get ones that are hardy, that are rugged, that are good foragers, that, you know, you don't have, that they're not delicate. Because the prettier ones, the more rare ones, typically are more delicate. And so do some research, get you some chickens, or ducks, or turkeys, or geese, or all of it. And put some effort into it. Yeah, they need to be have food and water, just like any living creature. But they're trying to take this stuff away from us, folks. And they're going to do it through this bird flu pandemic. Even if it never becomes a pandemic amongst humans, it's already there amongst animals. We're talking nearly 100% mortality rate amongst livestock poultry. So you better be stocking up on the things to make you healthy, and you better be stocking up on the things that you need to eat. And not only garden stuff like I've been mentioning, but chickens, poultry, that's a really good one. Really, really good one. It's a very good, easy gateway intro to homesteading is chickens. And you can do it. It's not that hard. And you need to start on it soon because they're coming after them. All right, folks. Time to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.